It's Oliver, they, them, their pronouns. And I know a lot of y'all have been requesting a bunch of different videos, and I'm definitely gonna work on those. But something that recently came up for me, that I think is a really important video that I want to get out there, is kind of a touchy subject. So I'm going to trigger warn right now for a discussion of self-harm, suicide, depression, and anxiety. And I'll try to remember to put that in the description. So I've noticed that at least one of the people who started following me since all y'all started following me, and I got all of y'all wonderful followers, has mentioned something in their description about suicidal and depressive tendencies and self-harm tendencies, and I'm not trying to be judgmental about that. That's actually something I myself have struggled with, but that's neither here nor there as far as what's important right now. What I want to bring up is a friend of mine brought it to my attention, that there's a whole community out there of people who, it's kind of like that whole Fitspo thing. That's kind of like, I mean, no offense to those of y'all who are really into that or anything, but like that whole movement's kind of body shamey. Oh, and there are parts of it that aren't even kind of body shamey, that are really body shamey, and like it's kind of a problem. And the fact that now it's been brought to my attention that there's a community out there of people who sort of romanticize and commune around this glorification of self-harm and romanticize suicide. It's something I feel I should say something about. I'm not the person who would say, I'm never the person who would say to feel guilty or ashamed of having suicidal tendencies, self-harm tendencies, or having depression or anxiety. I mean, I have all of those things, like, and I'm not ashamed of them. Am I glad that I have them? No. Life would be a hell of a lot easier if I did not. Life would be a hell of a lot easier if I didn't have those things. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm human, and everyone else who feels those things. I mean, we're human beings, and we can't help if we feel that way. And I mean, look, if somebody wants to have a community around these things because they're looking for other people who understand what they're going through and they're seeking help, then that's a good thing. I mean, that's how my best friend and I became best friends. Her partner at the time that we met was a good friend of mine, and we met through her, and we ended up discovering that each of us had some suicidal tendencies and self-harm tendencies, and also depression and anxiety. I know I keep bringing those up a lot, but they tend to all go together a lot of the time, at least for me. And I don't want to say we bonded over that, but we agreed to be each other's support systems, so that we said, if I ever feel the need to self-harm, that I'll call her, and vice versa. And being each other's support system has been, it's been really good, actually. I mean, there've definitely been a few situations, because I'm a bit of a worrier, where I would forget that she wouldn't necessarily have to text me back right away, and then I would freak out, and I would go to get in my car and call her a million times or something, because it's just, I was worried she did something. But at the same time, not that me jumping to conclusions was necessarily a good thing, but at the same time, she has a person, her system, support system in place, of someone who cares very deeply for her. And if it had been a situation that was more or less what I'd been expecting, then, I mean, I'm glad that I'd rather be more prepared than less prepared, and have something happen. And just the whole point I'm trying to make is that she and I became each other's support systems, and through that became best friends. And now, no matter where we are, unfortunately we live 3 hours away from each other now, we are still each other's support system. And no matter what, we have that, if nothing else, and that's really been a big help. And that's a way to have a community around these things like self-harm and depression and anxiety and suicidal tendencies, but without glorifying them, without encouraging them. And I think something also that a lot of people don't talk about is glorifying them is in some ways mocking, in my opinion, the experiences that some people go through, because it's not fun. It's not something that you sit around with your friends and drink tea and discuss. Oh yeah, I self-harmed last night. So great. It's there's a stigma around it, and you don't, I mean, it's not you do it to have a good time, and to glorify that, and make as though this is something beautiful, the struggle that people go through, the reality, the harsh, painful reality that people go through with these things, I think is frankly disrespectful, and not okay. And just, if you're someone who's in these communities, please just try to find help. I mean, I know hotlines kind of suck. I know that they're out there, and I know that they've helped people, but I do know that they suck for a lot of people too. Personally, I would say try to find someone to be a support system. And hey, I'm going to volunteer myself. If you do not have someone who you are close to in your life who you think could be a good support system for you, message me on Tumblr, and I volunteer to be your support system. Look, I'm human, and there's only so much I can do, and I might not even be the best person for you, but if you have nobody else, I'm gonna do my damnedest to be a support system for you for this, and hopefully this will get better for you, and if you're experiencing this, and hopefully this community of people, whatever they're doing, is maybe gonna not do what they're doing anymore. Anyway, that's all I have to say for the last 10 minutes now. So I'm out.